Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to another video. Thank you for watching. So I've been roasting my own coffee now for some time, and I'm at a point where I have several origins left over in not a large quantities. And so I didn't know what to do with this. I went online, went to a Facebook page, and I asked a lot of people whether I should roast them together or not. Some people said yes, that'll be fine, they've done it before, go ahead and roast them. There was others that said no, don't do it. And so, you know what, I decided to try this myself. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. I'm going to roast a batch of about 230 grams of coffee, and it's going to be 4 separate origins. Before I get started, just so you are aware and you know, I have beans from Mexico. Today I'm also using beans from Guatemala, beans from Colombia, and also India Malabar beans. Now, because all of these beans are from different origins with different roasting profiles, different densities, I don't know how I'm going to roast them together. So one of the quick things that I thought about is, first, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start to dry them out first. So what I mean by that is I'll start with a high fan speed, but a very low heat setting. So fan speed of 9, a heat setting of 1. Give that a go for 2 or 3 minutes, and you'll see that here in a moment. And then start to increase the heat and then lower the fan later on. So that's what we're trying to be doing, and then we'll see what happens. By the way, I know that you can see me wearing a short sleeve shirt, but it was pretty chilly outside. So on this day when I roasted the coffee, I believe it was somewhere around 44 Fahrenheit, which is about 5 or 6 Celsius. So pretty cold outside, which means that it is going to take this roast a little bit longer to get going. This is one of the challenges you have when you're roasting outside, but frankly, I just don't want to do it inside because I don't want to smoke up the house or have that lingering coffee smell around the house. So we'll do it outside. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going. As you can see right now, we're at fan speed 9 and a heat setting of 3. Now, I didn't want to make the video for too long, so you didn't see this, but I did have the beans drying on fan speed of 9 and heat 1. So we're at 3 right now. We'll leave it here for a couple minutes, and then from there, we'll increase it. Now, obviously, I am editing this video, but please do note I do have the timer on the scale, so you can see we have been already roasting for about 5 minutes or so. So now we're going to kick up the heat to a heat setting of 9. The fan speed of 9, there's a lot of good movement in the beans. Usually at this point I would have turned down the fan quite a bit lower, but because I have got multiple origins, I want to make sure all the beans are heating up evenly as much as possible, so I'm leaving it here for just a little bit longer. Alright, we're cooking, so 7 minutes into the roast, the beans look pretty good. They look like they're being roasted fairly even, so at this point I think I'm going to turn down the fan a little bit. I think let's go from a 9 to a 7 and get some more heat from there. Definitely not as much movement of the beans on 7 versus the 9 that we had it before, but I'm not too worried about it. I don't think I'm going to be scorching these beans. So I'm just going to let it be. As you can see now, they are progressing quite nicely and they're moving quite a bit better. I also moved the timer for you, so you can definitely see where we are now. It's getting a little bit better, although it is getting a little bit dark outside. Right now we are going down to a fan speed of 6, so it's been about 10 minutes or so. The beans are roasting pretty evenly. I'm happy with what we have here so far. There's some decent movement into the beans, so there's some nice distribution of heat. I'm happy. We'll keep going here for a little bit longer before we increase the temperature further. So 11 minutes into the roast, still no first crack, but I'm not too worried about it. Like I said earlier, the ambient temperature is pretty cold. And by the way, right here, I'm not doing anything. I am not changing the heat settings. I'm just playing with the machine. When you're doing this for a while, you start to fiddle with the machine, and so that's what I was doing here. I also went ahead and turned on the light outside because it was getting pretty dark. You can't hear it obviously, but we are into the first crack. I'm starting to hear some beans cracking, which is a good sign. We're about a 430 Fahrenheit or so, and this is pretty usual with the beans that I roast. So it's starting to go there. We'll give it some more time. Now, I didn't say this earlier, but I am going to go well into second crack with this roast. And the reason I'm doing it is because of the 4 origins. I want to ensure that all the beans are roasted at least to first crack. So the only way I know to do that is to go all the way to second crack. So at least I'll have some beans that are much darker and then some beans that are light roast. Almost 17 minutes into the roast, and finally we're into the second crack. I like what I hear, I like what I'm smelling. I'm gonna leave this on for a few more seconds, but we're essentially done at this point. So we'll go ahead and put it into the cooling cycle, give it about 2 to 3 minutes, and get the beans out. And here's the finished product, guys. It looks pretty well roasted, evenly roasted throughout. I am pretty happy with it. And just so you know, today I had my first shot after 4 days of these beans being roasted. It tasted delicious. So I'm very happy with this experiment, and I will be doing this again in the future. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next video. Thanks.